smallest, most powerful. Say it again. You are.
I know what she said. I'm afraid to find out. She said I was something.
All right,
All
here's
right.
my stuff here.
Kind of like Halloween, just let it go.
All right, there's some notes for me. There's this. That's mine. Do we have, everybody's got a pencil? All right. We ready to start? Everybody's here? I feel like we need a drum roll or something. What do you think? All right, so what did they tell you that we're going to do today? We are gonna do some reading today. Did you already get a chance to preview the article?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get to read it? Yeah. Okay. Do you know what kind of writing this is?
Washington.
You think it's about George Washington?
No.
You think so? You think it is? Well, here, let's look at this for right now and see what you think. Do you know what this is right here?
Introduction.
Yeah, introduction, body, conclusion. What is it? What is this? What do you call this? What do you call it? Is it beginning, middle, and end? Are you looking at it? I want you to just look at it for a minute. Why would you say beginning, middle, and end? Yep, what is it? What is this thing called? Do you ever see anything like it? It is a graphic organizer, okay? It's a graphic organizer. And what's a graphic organizer for? Are you organizing it by beginning, middle, and end? It is about organizing it, but look at this thing, it's gonna be organized. Does it say anything about beginning, middle, and end? What does it say on there? You're gonna organize this around what? And let's have somebody else besides Maddie tell me. What's it? Okay, graphic organizer. This graphic organizer is gonna organize our thoughts around what? Savannah? Around introduction, body, and conclusion. When would you organize something around beginning, middle, and end? Around a story. Can you give me another word besides a story? A narrative. I love that, right? A narrative and a story are interchangeable. Say it again. What's expository?
It's information.
It is informational. And what would that be organized around? Beginning, middle, and end, or introduction, body, conclusion? Okay, so when you see anything with introduction, body, conclusion, it's going to be an expository text, right? All right, now I want you to keep looking at the graphic organizer because a lot of the answers are going to come right from there. What kind of expository text is this? It is not a biography. Are you guessing or looking right now? What did I tell you guys to do? Look at the graphic organizer. What is it? It's about opinion, right? So opinion is an expository text, right? And it's going to be an opinion. And what are we going to be looking at? How is an opinion structured? All right. What are you going to be looking for the answers, guys? What are you going to be looking at for the answers? What are you going to be looking for the answers? What's this thing called? A graphic organizer? So I want you looking at the graphic organizer right now. How is this going to be? How is an opinion organized? Say it again. It is by a graphic organizer, but look inside the graphic organizer. It's telling you. Yep, and what's in an introduction? A lead and an opinion. What's a lead? What's the lead? Yeah, it's hooking a reader. You guys, what's another word besides lead? Some people have called it a hook. Have you ever heard of a hook? Some people call it a grabber, right? What's a lead, a hook, or a grabber for?
To hook the reader.
Yeah, something that's going to be of interest to the reader, right? And where do you find a lead?
In the introduction.
In the introduction. Why do you find a lead in the introduction? Yes?
So,
Right, it's gonna be the very first thing. All right, what else do you find in the introduction?
opinion.
Okay, so after you hook the reader, what's the next thing you need to do? You gotta state your opinion, you gotta get that right up there first. Why do you think you wanna say that right up there first? Why do you wanna give your opinion right after the lead? Okay, so the lead's gonna grab them, right, but what's the opinion gonna do? Well, it might make this story interesting, I hope it does, it's the opinion. What else would the opinion, what's an opinion? Something that you think or feel, so why do you have to get that right up front? Something that you think or feel, why does that have to be right up front? Right in the beginning of the article, why do you want that opinion right up there? Say it again. Right off the bat, you want the readers to know what they're gonna be reading about, right? So we wanna hook the reader, and then we wanna let them know what we think right up front, right? All right, so then after we get to the introduction, what are we gonna find after the introduction? We're gonna find the body, and what's in the body? The reasons for what?
For your opinion.
Yeah, the reasons for your opinion, that's exactly right. So what grade is this? What grade are you? What do you think? What do you think when you think about reasons? What's a good number of reasons, do you think? Minimally, what would you say for the number of reasons do you think you need to have for something? Have you ever talked about that before? Well, we can talk about that in a little bit, right? How many reasons we might need to have? What would be a good number of reasons? You think 5? Sounds like it might be a lot, but let's talk about that in a minute. And then after we find the reasons, what are we gonna be?
The conclusion.
The conclusion. What are you gonna find in the conclusion? Yeah, you're gonna find the same wording of the opinion. Do you think in the conclusion you're gonna say the same thing? Not typically, right? What are you gonna do? What do you think the conclusion? What?
Wrap the story.
Yeah, so the conclusion is to wrap it up, right? And maybe you're gonna reword your opinion somehow, or kind of go back to that, the opinion, all right? So I want you to be thinking about this, and actually what I've done is, do you guys like to work hard? Do you? Do you like it, when you have to, who do you like to work more, the teacher or the students? The teacher? Hang on a minute, oh, it's right here. Because, oh, they're right here. Guess who did some of the work for you? Yeah, you know what you can call me? Mr. Nice Guy. What do you think about that? Because I did some of the work for you. How's that? So you got one right here. So I want you to look at the 2 graphic organizers you have. You have a blank graphic organizer and you have a partially filled out one. What do you notice about those 2 graphic organizers?
This one has the name and
Okay. Are they the same graphic organizer?
yes.
They are the same graphic organizer. So can I actually have your blank ones back so you don't have too many pieces of paper? How's that? Okay. All right. And then you get one of these. You know what those are? You already have one. There you go. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to, I've already started. If you look at the introduction, I already took notes on the introduction. And do you know, if you look at my notes, do you know what I took notes on?
Yes.
What did how do you know I took notes on the lead?
Because in this there's
Yep, and what didn't I take notes on?
opinion.
My opinion. Guess who's gonna do that? You are, smarty pants, I love it. All right, so, but here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at my notes, and I want you to take your highlighter, and I want you to highlight, the first thing I want you to do, I'll give you an example, I want you to highlight George Washington, or G. Washington. Can you highlight that? Just run it right over. And if you turn it around like this, I think you'll get there you go. We'll get a bigger, there you go, just like that. Can you highlight it? And now what I want you to do is I want you to go in the article, and I want you to highlight where I got George Washington from. So because I want you to find George Washington in the article and highlight that. Yep. to that. So now what I want you to do is I want you to go, and I want you to look what I wrote. Let's look under George Washington. What are my notes say? What do you think WTG stands for? Writing. So I put fine-tune writing, and then I have a bullet says copying 110 sayings, and then I did another thing, if own computer, no need for, what's HWTG? Handwriting. Why do I abbreviate, do you think?
Because it's too long.
It's too long, and what are these things called right here? They're called notes. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take, each one of those things, highlight it, and I want you to highlight it in the article so you find out where I got the information from. And then I'm gonna tell you what to do next. Don't highlight them all. I think if you were organizing yourself, you'll highlight one and then find it, highlight the other one and then find it. You gotta kind of be organized a little bit. Because if you're not organized, you might miss something. And I wrote, and it might not be the exact same, I put fine-tune writing, but I said, what does it say in the article? Fine-tune is script. Good, all right. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll tell you what's next. So I guess here's a thing, if you're going from my notes, one note to the next, when you're looking at the article, are you gonna jump way ahead in the article, or are you gonna look pretty close to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing? What do you think? Are you gonna look pretty close, or are you gonna jump all over the article? Yep, it's gonna be pretty close. I don't want you jumping too far ahead in the article. I want you to look pretty much in the same area that you're looking in. See, everybody's kind of getting down there. Did you get them all done? Okay. How you doing? You okay? You find everything? Everybody find it? Everybody find? You find it, okay. All right. Which one do you want? Maddie, which one? Where are you looking for that one? So you're working in this area right over here. So what's that next part say right here? What do you think about that and no need for handwriting? What do you think you can highlight? Is there anything that's similar? Yep. Love it. All right, is everybody all set? All right, so now what do you think you're gonna have to do right now? So we've already, what did you just highlight?
The notes.
You just highlighted the lead, and where did you find the lead?
The text. The paragraph.
In which paragraph?
The sentence.
Here's the thing, show me where this article starts. Everybody point to where it starts. Yes, yes, yes. Where does the article start? Right down here. It starts right there, it starts right there, it starts right here. Why doesn't the article start up here? Why doesn't the article start right here?
I think it's because there's no indent.
Okay, there's no indent. That's one way you can look at it, that you want to look for the indent. And what is this part right up here? What do you think that part is?
Oh, just talking about the writer?
It's just talking about the author, that's exactly right. And so do all articles have that, do you think? No, it doesn't. It's just giving you some information because this is an opinion and you might want to know why you want to listen to this guy. Listen to this, I'll read this part. Steve Graham, a professor of education at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, conducts research on writing instruction and development. He believes that good penmanship sets the foundation for strong writing. So do you think this guy is worth listening to when it comes to handwriting? Why do you think he's worth listening to? Say it again. Well, how do you know he has good tips? Well, how about this? Listen, Steve Graham, a professor of education at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, conducts research on writing instruction and development. Why do you think we should listen to him? He actually teaches writing at a university. So do you think he knows a lot about what he's talking about? He does. All right. So where did we find the lead? Which paragraph did we find the lead in? Okay, in the first paragraph. All right. So now, what are we going to be looking for? If this is an opinion, what's going to come next? Say it again. The opinion. And what do you think you're going to have to do right now? You're going to look for his opinion. You're going to have to highlight his opinion. So when you're taking notes or you're highlighting, when you're in a sentence, how many things can you take notes on or underline or highlight? How many things do you think you can do? 3. Yeah, 3 things. So I want you taking notes and I want you to think about his opinion. When you read a sentence and you think that's his opinion, how many words are you going to highlight in a sentence? The whole thing? No, you're just going to do 3. So right now, I want you to look and see if you can tell me by highlighting a few of the words, what is his opinion? Can you do that for me? Go ahead right now and let's see what we can come up with his opinion. No, I'm going to stop you for a minute. What did he use for a lead in this? I forgot to ask you. What's his lead about? What's his lead about? About who? Who having good penmanship? Yeah, he's writing about George Washington, and George Washington had a good opinion. Why do you think he used that as a lead? Yeah, why do you use George Washington, do you think? He is famous, right? Yeah. Because it's our country's first president. That's exactly right. Do you think that's a good lead? Do you think that people would be impressed by that? All right, so now we're going to go find out what Steve Graham's opinion is. Can you go into that next paragraph and see if you can find out what his opinion is? And highlight some of the words. something? Okay, looking. Let's stop and just talk about it for a minute. So, we found the lead. Where did we find the lead? In that first paragraph, that's exactly right. And now we're looking for the opinion. Where do you think you're gonna find the opinion? Where do you think the opinion's gonna be? What do you think about the second paragraph? I saw some people not highlight the second paragraph. How about this? Let me read the second paragraph and see what you think. Maybe not, but research shows that practicing handwriting does more than produce a pretty paper. Although he may not have known it, Washington was improving his writing skills. You can improve your writing skills too. I have found that students who study handwriting for 45 minutes each week are able to improve how fast they write, how much they write, and how well they write. What do you think? Does it tell in there how he feels about handwriting or what he thinks about handwriting? What do you think? What do you think about this part? I have found that students who study handwriting for 45 minutes each week are able to improve how fast they write, how much they write, and how well they write. What do you think that is right there? Does that tell how he... Do you think that's his opinion? What do people think? Do you think it's a fact, or do you think it's that's how he feels about it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how he feels, because listen to this part. I have found that students who find it, does that make it a fact? Because he found that? No, it's kind of it's been his experience, right? So do you think that's his opinion? Okay, so why don't you take that, what would you highlight in that, what would you highlight for notes in that sentence? What are the important words that you want to highlight in there for his opinion?
Fast writing.
What do you think you want to, what are some of the important things in there? Well, I'm thinking, how about fast? Is that one of the things he thinks?
That's what I said first.
Oh, is that what you said the first time? Sorry, I didn't hear you. So fast, what is another important word right there, do you think, in that opinion, besides fast? How much and how well? Mm-hmm. Anything else that you might want to think about? I was thinking, what do you think about 45 minutes? Is that an important thing? Mhm. Let me read that and see if there's anything else in that paragraph that we should think about. Maybe not, but research shows that practicing handwriting does more than produce a pretty paper. Although he may not have known it, Washington was improving his writing skills. You can improve your writing skills too. Is there anything in that part that is part of his opinion, do you think?
That you can improve your writing.
Say it again.
That you can improve your
Yeah, that you can improve your writing skills. So that might be something too that we want to highlight, right, in that opinion?
Yes.
All right. Everyone get that? We're not going to do it right now, but what would you put for your, what do you think your notes would say over here if you were filling out this graphic organizer? What would your notes say?
A bullet and then
All right, a bullet and some of that, and a bullet, and what might your first bullet be? And
improve.
improve your writing, right? And then what would come underneath that? 45 minutes, and then what would come in after that? How fast? Okay, and do we stick with our 3 notes and stuff like that? 2 or 3 words? Okay, I love it. All right, so this is, let's do one more thing. So so the first paragraph was his, well, I'm thinking about the graphic organizer. The first paragraph was his lead. His second paragraph was his opinion. Where are we going to next? Have we finished the introduction?
Yes.
We have, and now we're going to,
Body.
and the body contains
Reasons.
the reasons. what do you think we're gonna find in the third paragraph?
The reasons why.
Do you think we're gonna find all the reasons?
No.
No, probably not, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to read the third paragraph, and what are you gonna be highlighting?
The reasons.
All right, you're gonna be looking for probably at least how many reasons right now?
3.
In one paragraph? Is it a long paragraph?
No.
So how many reasons? Oh, I think maybe one. So let's go through and look at that third paragraph, and let's see if you can highlight important words about about what a reason might be. Where do you read this one? Maybe what is paragraph right now? Where's the third paragraph? Did you find something? Did you find a reason? Meg? Did you find a reason? All right. Let me read the third paragraph for you. How does practicing penmanship make you a better writer? By not letting penmanship get in the way. When you are not adept at handwriting, you expend energy on the mechanics. This interferes with the creative flow of ideas. Once you've mastered the pen or pencil, you can spend all your energy on making your ideas clear. All right. All right, well, let's talk about it a little bit. Looks like some of us are having trouble with this. So did anybody come up with a reason? So he talks about, right, improving, his opinion is that if you write for 45 minutes, you're gonna write about, how fast, how much and how well. And now we're looking for, for those reasons. So what do you think? What did you come up with? All right, not letting penmanship get in your way. And you did a little bit more too. What did you do? Right, you don't want to expend energy on mechanics, and mechanics are the physical piece of writing, right? If you can write easily, right, you can do your penmanship, you're going to be able to, what's going to happen? It tells you, what did you write? Right, you're going to be able to get your ideas out. Your ideas are going to flow. Is that a reason? Yes. Okay. Everybody highlight some things down there? All right. So that's one thing. Let's go to the next paragraph and let's see if we can find some more reasons in there, okay? Let's see if we can find some more reasons in there. How about if I read a little bit too and see what you think? And don't underestimate the value of neatness. Throughout your education, you will be asked to write your answers on standardized tests. If test graders cannot read your responses, you may not get full credit. If you cannot write quickly, you may not have enough time to answer all the questions. And he even tells you more, he says if you're neat, what's going to happen. All right, let's talk about that one. Was there another reason down there? First of all, he says you don't want penmanship to get in the way, right?
Yes.
And so what else is he saying about a reason why?
You would expend energy on mechanics.
All right, that you're expending energy on mechanics? Yep. What else is he saying down there?
Flows
Yeah, yeah, the flow of ideas, that's in the, what else does he say down here? Don't,
You can spend your energy on
making your ideas clear down there? Yep. Yep. How about right here? What'd you highlight right down here?
and don't underestimate the value of
Right, it says don't underestimate the value of neatness. Why should you not underestimate the value of neatness, Savannah? What did you put right down here? Say it again. So you can write quickly, you'll have it right, you can, with neatness, that you can, that you can have, you'll have enough time to write, right, if you're neat. You may not have enough, if you're not writing quickly enough, you might not have enough time, right?
Yes.
What does he say about if the testers can't read? What's it?
You may not get full credit.
You may not get full credit down there. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So, and so listen to the last two paragraphs. Follow George Washington's lead and practice your handwriting. Make sure that all your lowercase letters are the same size. Learn to make all letters correctly and quickly. Be sure that your writing is dark enough. Write on a straight line. You don't have to trade your computer for a pencil, but if you use a pencil, you will sharpen the way you express your ideas. So write on. What part did I just read to you? What do you think? The last two paragraphs, which are the conclusion, and what did he do down there in the conclusion? What did he do? Did he state the opinion again, or what did he do? He kind of went back to the beginning, because who's he talking about at the end? He's talking about George Washington, and he's saying, if you're like him and you're doing those things, that you'll probably be able to do a lot better with your writing. Right? All right. So what do you need to think about when you are, do you ever get to talk about your opinion? Have you ever written your opinion? Have you written an opinion? So what do you think what's gonna be helpful for you when you're writing an opinion, do you think? What do you think?
Practice 4 or 5 minutes each one.
Okay, so if you do that, yeah, but I think if you're writing an opinion, what's gonna help you write an opinion? Your ideas are gonna, where do your ideas go? How do you structure your ideas in an opinion? How about the graphic organizer? Do you think so? So when you have to write your opinion, where does the reader, when you write an opinion, where does the reader need to be looking for your opinion?
The introduction.
In the introduction. What else do you need to think about? And okay, and you're also going to see a little bit in the conclusion, right? What else do you need to be thinking about with your opinion?
The reasons.
Okay, you got to think about the reasons. How many reasons does this guy have?
3.
Well, I think he had two, right? And we could talk about that in a little bit, but he had two. And if I was using this graphic organizer, I might have to draw a line down in the middle of it, right? Because if he had two reasons, I want to make sure there's two sections in my body, right, for that. Okay. Right. So you got to think about, do I have a lead? Have I said my opinion? Do I have my reasons? And have I wrapped it up? All right, good job. What do you guys think about this? Hard? Not really hard? All right. What do you think about the taking notes and the highlighting? Do you like that part? Have you been practicing that in your classroom? Mm-hmm. Is it helping you to take notes and stuff like that? Why do you think you only have to take two or three, highlight two or three things at a time? Why do you think that? So you can be organized? Yeah. And you're really looking for just the important things? Okay. I'm all done with you. You want to go back to the class? All right. See ya.
Nice job.
You can take those. Yep, you can take those. Yep, you can take them with you. Good for you. Yeah, I'll take the.